What is going on there, everyone? Well, to start off, I would like to wish all of my fellow Christians a Merry Christmas. And everyone else, Happy Holidays, or whatever you're doing today. I wasn't going to make a video, but then I stumbled across just an article that it shows what we're dealing with here in Virginia with the authoritarian, totalitarian Democrats. Virginia Governor Northam increases corrections budget in anticipation of jailing gun owners here in Virginia. Gotta love that. Wow. Wow. Let's get into this because it's a fairly long read. As if Virginia Governor Ralph Northam's wholesale attack on law-abiding gun owners wasn't enough, the disgraceful public official and his Michael Bloomberg balked allies in the General Assembly now want the state's hardworking taxpayers to foot the bill for their unconstitutional schemes. The budget bill, HB 30, includes an appropriation of $250,000 to carry out a host of gun control measures that Northam and his anti-gun allies hope to enact. You know, a lot of people have been talking about a civil war. If this happens, this really honestly could be the catalyst needed to start a real civil war. That's why this is so dangerous and so important for everyone to know. The $250,000 is appropriated to the Corrections Special Reserve Fund in order to provide for the increase in operating cost of adult correctional facilities resulting from the enactment of Northam's gun control measures. Among the enumerated laws that this allocation is meant to fund is a ban on commonly owned semi-automatic firearms, the criminalization of private firearm transfers, and gun confiscation orders issued without due process. This is exactly why we have the Second Amendment. This is exactly why. For when the government decides to take our rights and to try to take things from us, we can fight back against a tyrannical government. And trust me, here in Virginia, we're willing to do that. We are willing to do that. Over 90% of our state has already enacted some type of sanctuary laws when it comes to the Second Amendment. You're barking up the wrong tree, Democrats. You're going to make things extraordinarily dangerous for all involved. You need to get your head out your butt now before this carries on. Aside from the insult of forcing law-abiding Virginia taxpayers to pay for the demonization of their rights, the gun control allocation is a severe waste of resources. Northam's Bloomberg-backed gun control measures will not make Virginia safer. No, it's going to put everyone at risk of violence now. In addition to being unconstitutional, a ban on commonly owned semi-automatic firearms will not reduce violent crime. Long guns of any description are rarely used in violent crime. FBI Uniform Gun Crime reporting data breaks down homicides by weapon type. In 2018, the FBI reported that there were 5 times as many individuals listed as killed with knives or cutting instruments than with rifles of any kind. The data also showed that rifles were listed as being used in less homicides than blunt objects, clubs, hammers, etc. I always use the hammers as a reference because the hammers actually kill more people than most other weapons. It's very shocking and scary when you think about it. Or personal weapons, hands, fists, feet, etc. In 1997, the Department of Justice funded a study of the 1994 federal assault weapons ban determined that at best, the assault weapons ban can only have a limited effect on total gun murders because the banned weapons and magazines were never involved in more than a modest fraction of all gun murders. A 2004 follow-up Department of Justice funded study came to a similar conclusion. The study determined that AWs, assault weapons, and large capacity magazines were used in only a minority of gun crimes prior to the 1994 federal ban. Relatively few attacks involve more than 10 shots fired, and the ban's effects on gun violence are likely to be small at best, perhaps too small for reliable measurement. So-called universal background checks do not stop criminals from obtaining firearms. Of course not, because criminals aren't going somewhere where they would have to have a background check done. They're not going generally to even law-abiding citizens to buy a personal firearm from a law-abiding citizen. They're getting these cheap throwaways, and most of the time, who knows where they even came from? We don't know. I'm just saying, there's a good chance a lot of these came from the government themselves. Look at the CIA. They love to sell assault weapons and all kinds of stuff to all kinds of criminal agencies. So, yeah. You know, Fast and the Furious, remember that one? Thanks, Obama. Background checks don't stop criminals from stealing firearms, getting them on the black market, or getting them from straw purchasers. According to the U.S. Department of Justice, 75% of the criminals in state and federal state prisons who had possession of firearms during their offense acquire the firearm through theft. Imagine that. Off the street / underground market, or from a family member or friend, or as a gift. Less than 1% got firearms from dealers or non-dealers at gun shows. ATF has reported the most frequent type of trafficking channel identified in the ATF investigations is straw purchasing from federally licensed dealers. This year, researchers at the Bloomberg School of Public Health and the UC Davis School of Medicine found that comprehensive background checks and prohibitions, based on violent misdemeanors were not associated with charges in firearm suicide or homicide. Aside from enabling the unacceptable deprivation of constitutional rights without due process, an extreme risk protection order, red flag law, is unnecessary in Virginia because the state already has strong and effective civil commitment laws. Which is true. And red flag laws, to me, are very unconstitutional because you can have anybody, say you and your neighbor are just not the best of friends. Well, your neighbor can call the police under these red flag laws and have all your guns taken away just because they don't like you. They don't have to have proof of anything. And that's a problem. You can't do that. You can't just take someone's rights away on hearsay. You shouldn't be able to take their rights away, period. That's just my opinion, unless they committed a felony or something like that. Tax-paying Virginians should not have to foot the bill for Northam and Bloomberg's radical attack on their fundamental rights. And this last paragraph I'm not going to read, because it's not that important. I mean, it's important, but it's not that important to the story. But yeah, this is what we're dealing with. It's good. If anything bad's going to happen, like civil war or anything like that, could happen here in Virginia because of the left. This is what the Democrats do. They're not about we the people. They're not about individual liberty and freedoms like they used to be. You know, they used to be the liberals because they believed in liberty. They don't believe in that no more. Something has drastically changed with the left, and it's terrifying. It's just terrifying. I don't know what else to say. They don't care about the Constitution. They don't care about people as individuals. All they care about, it seems nowadays, are illegal immigrants and stuff like that because they need someone that's not in this country watching what they're doing all the time to vote for them. Because the people that watch them all the time, yeah, a lot of them aren't really happy with the Democratic Party. A lot of the moderates and stuff like that aren't happy with the way the Democratic Party is right now. And I get it. But we have to do something about these far left government officials. I mean, all they want to do is take from us. They want all of our money for taxes to pay for other people. This, that, and the other, and play for their little schemes and whatnot. They want your guns. They want everything. They want to control your health care. They want control. That's what they strive for. These people are dictators. We can't let this happen, people. This is big. This is very big, and it seems like it's going to get a lot worse. Because once the new year comes in, and the Democrats will have power, full control over Virginia, you're going to see a time of reckoning. I hope nothing bad happens. ever. I do not promote violence, and I don't want to promote violence of any type. But I can tell you, if the government tries to take our rights and tries to criminalize, turn us into criminals, it's not going to work out real well. It's just not. I know Virginians. I live here, and we're not gonna take this sitting down. That's for sure. We've already have been amassing, but we'll see. I'd love to hear your comments on this, because I don't think it's going to get any better. I think we're looking at a very dangerous situation, and I think it's going to keep going towards that dangerous situation, closer and closer. Well, if you think I'm wrong, I would love to hear your comments on this, because I have myself, claimed that, oh, we don't have to worry about no civil war. Everyone's talking about it, this, that, and the other. But now this stuff's happening. This kind of changes the game in a big way. But like I said, I'd love to hear your comments on this. Merry Christmas to all, and everyone. Just try to have a good day. Don't talk politics too much, if you can help it. Unless y'all are enjoying those conversations, then go right ahead. But just have a wonderful day. Spend time with your family. If you're alone on today, know that I'm thinking about you and you're not alone. And Merry Christmas, everyone. Like, share, and subscribe. I will catch y'all on the flip side.